So a few days back, I saw one of my friend posting something on his Facebook feed, and that really grabbed my attention. And the post was something like, there is a guy who is standing there on FC Road almost on a daily basis, and there was something written on his cardboard. He was standing like this on his cardboard, where it was mentioned that, "Tell me your story, and I'll give you 10 rupees." And I just thought, okay, this is something really interesting. I want to know what this guy is up to. I don't know, like I know I wanted to speak to him. I wanted to know everything about him. So the guy sitting here with us is Raj Dagwar. He is the guy who will often you'll often see him standing there on FC Road, and with his board in his hand, talking to people, and in fact he even offer 10 rupees for those who want to share their story with him. So Raj, and thank you so much for coming to Classic Talk Sessions with Leo. First of all, I want to thank you for what you're doing, giving us time to Classic Talk Sessions. And secondly, I'm so much impressed, so much, I was moved by whatever you're doing, because I want to know why you are doing all these things, because you can spend your weekends like the way you want, man. You can go out, you can go party, and you can roam around with your friends. But I want to know why you are going on that road, standing with this board in your hand. Is there any story behind that? Because no one can just simply go and decide that, okay, I'll just go and stand on the road and I'll just put a board in my hand. No one does like that. But you're doing it on a regular basis, because I've been seeing your posts on Instagram and Facebook that you're quite often you go to that road and speak to people. Can you tell us about what exactly it is?
So basically, what I do is I ask people for their stories.
Okay.
Agar kisi ko baat karni, they can come and talk to me.
Okay.
The reason why I do this is because I've been through that phase where I was alone. I felt like I wanted someone who could listen to me without judging me or giving me advice or anything. Just listen to me. I just want to share something with you. I don't need your opinion. I just want you to hear me out.
Okay.
So I was in that phase where I felt that people won't understand me, or things like that, where I felt my parents won't understand, my friends won't understand, or they'll judge or they'll make fun of me. So I kept all these things inside me, and it was eating me from inside. So I've been through that phase, when you need a stranger to talk.
Yeah.
And when I came out of it, I was really, when I was in a very good phase where I was stable.
Okay.
I recently saw a post on Instagram that said, tell me your story and I'll give you $1. And that just struck me. I said, this is something very unique, and we can reach out to more people who are in need of this.
Yeah.
And who need someone to talk.
Yeah.
So at that exact same moment, I said, I have to do this. So I made the board and I just went out there, and since then it's.
So this is that board.
This is that board, yeah.
I've been there with you for quite a long time. Tell me your story and I'll give you rupees 10.
Yes.
You said about depression. Like you said that you had been to that phase where you wanted someone to listen to you.
Right.
But I guess no one was there. So can you tell us what was that? Can you put some light onto it? What exactly was that phase at which you thought that you should take action on something, or people should know about it? Because this session is not going to be like you will be listening and others are talking. This is where I want you to open yourself so that everyone should know your story.
Okay, so a few years back I was in a very hard kind of relationship.
Alright,
very
okay.
toxic kind of relationship that was taking a toll on me, my mental health, my academics and everything. And I guess this is very common for everyone, because we seek for external emotional support from outside world, where we should actually do it from ourselves. Whatever we have, what expectations we have from others, we should have that from ourselves. So I was, as usual, I was looking for that kind of emotional support from outside. And I was not in a very healthy kind of relationship. I was not happy, I was not contented, and it was affecting me very much. It was affecting my college academics and everything. And I used to feel that I'm lagging behind somewhere, where I can't fulfill the wishes of my parents. And
will you be able to share, because sometimes I think it is very important topic, depression. many people actually go through depression, but people usually get confused between depression and sadness.
Right.
Yeah. So I think and people people are not open because they feel that if I tell other people that I am depressed, they have this kind of feeling in their mind that okay, fine, people will judge me,
Right.
that okay,
But I'm inferior to them,
Exactly.
Yeah. So
what is can you give us
basic difference.
symptoms or
Yeah.
difference into being
Yeah.
sadness and having a depression?
See, for me, in my case, I could not sleep. I could not focus on anything. Nothing excited me anymore.
Okay.
And these are the small things that you notice in yourself. Okay, you are going into depression in a phase where you are not yourself.
Yeah.
When you are acting differently, when you have many people have anger issues. कि यार कुछ, if something is not happening right for them, they start throwing tantrums more than they usually do. So that is not
this
there.
is the first stage of depression.
There are many steps. It is different for everyone. Because as a person, I'm a shy kind of guy. I like to be with my friends. I'm open up with, I don't open up with everyone. So for me, being a kind of introvert, you can say, I was very, I was not expressing my feelings. It was all on me. It was taking toll on my health. So I had different symptoms. But a person who is very extrovert, who is very loud mouth and things like that.
A person who is extrovert, is there any ratio? Do you have any idea about it? Is there any ratio about people who are introvert are more tend to get into a depression than people who are extrovert? Does it happen that way?
See what happens. No, let's not put in that way. Because what happens with introverts is they don't want to speak about it. But extroverts, they even though they don't want to share that part of the story, but they कहीं ना कहीं बोलते बोल देते हैं. So when that happens, people around them know that they are going through something, and they want to help, but don't know how to approach, because extrovert होके भी they don't want to talk about their feelings like that. And introverts, they don't want to talk about it in any way. So what happens when you are in depression, right? When see, it can be about many things, family issues, job issues, you are under a lot of stress. What happens is, if you don't act upon it on the right time, it can lead to many things. I'm not, I have no much education on this, but जितना मैंने पढ़ा है उसमें से मुझे ये पता है कि if you don't act on the right time, it can lead to schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, things like that. And also it can lead to suicides. So if you can stop someone at the right time, if you can reach them and talk to them, that can make a huge amount of difference in their life.
Don't you think that in recent few years, I would say 10-15 years, I guess, or maybe 10 years, this depression thing is quite new. I don't see, we don't see our previous generation talking about depression, the youth, they have a depression, but this kind of depression it is very common thing right now, and people are actually committing suicide, and which I feel which is a serious issue.
The reason,
what do you think, what do you think is that depression thing is happening in current generation?
So there was depression earlier too. People used to have panic attacks. People used to have same problems, bigger problems. But what was the difference that time was that now we all are connected through social media, but we are not connected. We feel that अगर किसी को मुझे reach करना है तो it is very easy. एक message करूँगा, I'm there with him. एक message करूँगा, I'm there with me. But ये पहले नहीं होता था. पहले you had to sit with your family at the end of the day. अगर तुम्हारे जो रिलेटिव्स थे वो आते थे तुम्हारे पास, दे यूज्ड टू टॉक टू यू, दे यूज्ड टू आस्क यू क्या चल रहा है लाइफ में, कुछ है क्या, तुम्हें बात करनी है क्या, एंड जो दिखता था ना कि ही इज नॉट एक्टिंग हिमसेल्फ, इज एक्टिंग अ लिटिल डिफरेंट, तो खुद पूछते थे क्या हो गया बता, और वहाँ पे ऑप्शन ही नहीं रहता था ना, यू डोंट हैव यू डिडंट हैव वे यू कुड टॉक टू योर फ्रेंड्स थ्रू टेक्सटिंग एंड एवरीथिंग, जो दूर है तुमसे, सो यू हैड टू टॉक टू योर इमीडिएट रिलेटिव्स, पेरेंट्स, तो सब लोग बैठ के बात करते थे, दे यूज्ड टू फाइंड अ सॉल्यूशन ऑन दैट. बट अभी ये सब जनरेशन में अब नहीं है, एक घर में रह के, चार दीवारी में रह के भी अपन लोग सब डिफरेंट डिवाइसेस, यस, सो दैट इज वेयर आई फील कि इट इज गोइंग इन डिफरेंट रूट. बट डिप्रेशन पहले भी था, डिप्रेशन अभी भी है, बट अभी बात करने लोगों ने चालू किया, अभी
people are aware,
और people are accepting that okay, I have issues and
Yeah.
I'm acting upon it. But a very important point that I want to say is, if someone is going to a psychiatrist, you know, we say that वो psycho है या mental है.
Yeah, होता है. I understand.
And
This should not be.
this is very wrong.
Yeah.
And I feel if someone is going to a psychiatrist, he's going for his mental health. He wants to cure himself,
True.
and you're pulling him down by saying यार ये psycho है या फिर ये mental है. This is very wrong. And I feel we have to change this. We have to spread awareness. We have to talk about this. So because you know, जैसे अपने को पैर में चोट लगती है अपन डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, जैसे अपने को पेट दुखता है अपन डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, कफ होता है जाते हैं, तो ऐसे अगर मेंटल इश्यूज है तुम्हें, व्हाई नॉट गो एंड कंसल्ट अ साइकियाट्रिस्ट, राइट? So this is what I feel should happen more
I
often.
think this concept of going to psychiatrist in this kind of situation is still kind of considered as
Taboo.
Taboo.
Right.
Like psychiatrist के पास मतलब
क्यों जाना?
कौन जाएगा?
कौन जाएगा?
Yeah.
So
Still happens. That needs to
कौन
be-
जाएगा और क्यों जाएगा is a very
Yeah.
important question, because if you go, society is calling you psycho. So अभी जो generation है, they do not know that there is something called a psychiatrist, you know,
Yeah.
that you go to. और अगर जिनको पता भी है, they are reluctant to go because वहाँ पे जाएंगे तो लोग नाम रखेंगे, you know,
Yeah.
they'll call psycho and they feel इससे अच्छा तो मैं मर जाऊँ, you know, मुझे वो सब नहीं करना है, मैं मर गया तो like better रहेगा. तो
Yeah.
ये जो हो रहा है इसको अपन रोक सकते हैं just by normalizing going to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
So if you see someone who's suffering, you know, who's going through things like that, go talk to them, you know, just tell them if you want, go seek a psychiatrist help.
Yeah.
अभी कैसा हो रहा है कि वेस्टर्न कल्चर्स में बहुत ज़्यादा यू फील एक नॉर्मल तरीके से यू कैन गो टू साइकेट्रिस्ट, यू नो, चाइल्ड थेरेपी सेशंस होते हैं, मैरिज काउंसलिंग्स होती है, थिंग्स लाइक दैट. बट यहाँ पे इन आवर कंट्री इट्स सैड टू से दैट वी आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग द फैक्ट दैट वी नीड टू गो. And I think that should change,
Yeah.
because that will make a huge difference. In the year 2019, there were almost 393 suicides per day that were registered. Forget about जो हुए ही नहीं थे. So I feel per day 393. That was before lockdown. Abhi after lockdown, people have lost their jobs. Long
Yeah.
distance relationships are
Yeah.
not working,
Yeah.
and things like that. Have, you know, people are stressed under sitting at their homes. This is a very hard situation for everyone. Just imagine what the suicide rates will be right now. So, you know, 400 before lockdown, now it will be 800, I believe.
Could be.
And this is the time we have to urge ourselves to, you know, help people out and, you know, take the right step to, you know, cure someone, you know, who's going through depression.
Right.
So when I came back from Dubai, I was in Dubai for
Okay.
in lockdown for 3 months.
Okay.
When I came back, I saw a totally different scenario.
Yeah.
हर दिन बड़े बड़े हस्तियाँ सुसाइड कर रहे हैं.
Exactly.
हर दिन, मतलब मेरे आजू बाजू के लोगों को मैं सुसाइड करते हुए सुन रहा हूँ कि इसने किया,
Yeah.
जिसकी ज़रूरत नहीं थी. अगर उसकी लाइफ, उसके पेरेंट्स की लाइफ अभी बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंट है, यू नो.
Exactly.
अगर उसको राइट टाइम पे मिल गए होते हम, या फिर उससे बात की होती, उसको सिर्फ 5 मिनट पूछ लिया होता तेरी लाइफ में क्या चल रहा है, उसका दिन बन जाता. ही कुड हैव बीन अलाइव राइट नाउ. उसकी पेरेंट्स की लाइफ अलग होती, बिकॉज व्हेन यू लूज अ पर्सन फ्रॉम योर ओन फैमिली, दैट फैमिली इज डिस्ट्रॉयड इमोशनली, मेंटली, एवरीथिंग, यू नो. दे I can't put
Like,
it in
of
words.
course, ending a life is a big thing. I mean, someone going through, like, people often, you know, they are scared to be judged, like, you know, कि मतलब हाँ, जैसे यूजुअली हम लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं कि यार उसने सुसाइड किया, लाइक हम लोग बोलते हैं कि यार सुसाइड नहीं करना चाहिए था. उसको सुसाइड नहीं करना चाहिए था. वी टेक इट दैट वे, बट we can just imagine that person who has come to that decision, like I cannot take it anymore, now I want to end up my life.
Right.
So instead of, you know, judging someone or, you know, commenting something like कि यारे उसने suicide किया और ऐसा वैसा, we should have fight. We should take it in another angle. It was my personal opinion.
Yeah, you had a hand in it, you know. अगर तुम उसके दोस्त हो, you had a hand in it कि उसने life end की.
Yeah.
Because you could have saved it, you know. Because बहुत बार होता है कि अगर दोस्त जो है ना, when you're in that phase, you want to approach someone, you give hints out.
Yeah.
And the other person, अरे चलता है रे, लड़का है, तुम मर दे, मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता, and things like that. And that is where we go wrong, you know. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. Because ठीक है, when someone is approaching you, you're giving out comments like this.
Yeah.
You don't know what that thing or what that person is going through.
True.
You know.
True.
That is where I think you have a hand in that.
So this is something which you know, encourage you to start your
Right.
tell me your story journey. So how many months you have been you know, doing this activity?
Tomorrow it's going to be 2 months.
2 months.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's quite consistent actually.
Yeah.
How's this experience has been? Can you this idea, like you got inspired by someone to actually do this, but there are actually very few people who will do something about it, and this is very recommendable. So you said you have been doing it for 2 months. What kind of people you met? Like, what do you think that are people judgmental about what you're doing? Are people supporting what you're doing? Is there any difference? Will you be able to tell us a little bit about the ratio that people who support and don't support? People's reaction is what I would like to know.
See, many people, they just look at it and they're like, tell me your story. What kind of story you want? The first question, what kind of story? So I want, if someone approaches me, I tell them, what I'm trying to do here. और आपको कैसी बात, लाइक आपको क्या, अगर ऐसा कुछ लगता है आपको जो आपको किसी से शेयर करना था बट यू कुड नॉट, यू कैन शेयर इट विथ मी, नो जजमेंट्स, वी कैन जस्ट हैव अ स्मॉल टॉक एंड आई विल गिव यू 10 रुपीज़. सो काफ़ी लोग हैं मोस्टली जिनको सही में ज़रूरत होती है ना, दे रीड टेल मी योर स्टोरी, उसके आगे बढ़ते भी नहीं हो, बस दे आर वेरी हैप्पी कि कोई सुनने वाला है, दे जस्ट स्टार्ट blabbering the story, जो भी उनके मन में सब, they pour it out, they start crying, they start having all their emotions in front of me. And I just try to console them, and when they put out all these feelings into words and express them, they feel a lot lighter. And that is a very important thing.
Do you have any number of like how many people now maybe would have spoken to you? How many?
On a daily basis, I meet around 50 people.
Wow.
Okay. And yeah, I stand for like 5-6 hours. So
yeah,
but most of them come to appreciate what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah, from around 50, उसमें से I talk to 20 people. They share the stories on a daily basis. So दिन में 20, and I did this for continuously 1.5 months.
Okay.
So 45 days, 20 people.
Few interesting stories. Can you tell us that you remember, okay, this person really needed to be listened, or this is something very interesting someone had shared that you did not expect? Anything like that you can share?
There are quite few stories right now.
Okay.
It would be wrong to share, but yeah,
let's not take their name, of
names,
course.
yeah, of course.
But yeah, like
some kind of stories.
That is something people should know. Yeah, these are the kind of problem people are actually sharing, and this is what is working around.
A story that moved me was,
okay,
first of all, it was the second day I was on FC Road. Okay. And I was standing where I usually stand, and this guy, he comes to me, he talks to me, tells me his story, and we talk around 1.5 hours. And and at the end of it, he's like, राज, अगर मैंने तुझसे बात नहीं की होती, मैं घर जाके क्या करता मुझे नहीं पता. Like, he was ready to kill himself just because there is no one to understand him. He was in that kind of phase. So that gave me courage to go again the next day, because there are people out there who need my help, who need me, who need someone to listen. So I felt what I'm trying to do is making a difference. So that touched me there. And since you have asked, a very hard story that a situation that I faced was, I was at my home. I received a call from someone who I had given my number on FC Road. I usually don't give my number out because of obvious reasons, but this person, she wanted to talk but could not. So I gave a number, and then she called me, and everything was good. And when she called, she was like, she was on terrace. She was having a knife in her hand, and she would either cut herself or jump. She was in that kind of phase. So she told me that thoda baad mein, but when she did, I realized what kind of situation she was in. She was going through a lot in her life, and she was ready to kill herself, and she felt like no one would understand her, and I was her last hope, because if not me, then she was going to do something wrong. So I was in that situation where something wrong could have happened, but I tried to calm her down, and I gave her my psychiatrist number, and now she is seeking professional help. So that is actually a very big responsibility that you are getting into. People are coming to you and sharing the innermost
fear or
Fear.
something that they have, this kind of pressure, like was it difficult when you came to know about all these things? Like, did you feel that, okay, how am I going to handle it, or were you under a pressure that, okay, what am I supposed to do right now, because
See,
this might
how
be
I
a
react in
volatile
that situation
Yeah.
is very important,
Hmm.
because the other person, you don't know what mind state
Yeah.
that other person is.
Yeah.
So when I got to know that she's on terrace and she's having a knife and things like that, the first and foremost thing I did was to calm her down, because whatever happens, it's not big enough to risk your life. So whatever I say in that situation is very important. So fortunately enough, I'm a very stable kind of guy who don't, who's not affected by, who can take a right decision in a very hard pressurized time. So in that situation, I calmed her down. I told her whatever it is, we'll work it out. You just have to talk to me. So she, we talked about normal things,
Okay.
and thodi settle down ho gayi. And then when I calmed her down, now she's seeking a psychiatrist,
Okay.
professional help.
So sharing this experience, that one question that I have is, say for example, if someone comes to me or anyone and say that, okay, I'm suffering through all these things. Okay, of course we should not judge, because that is a motive. But someone who doesn't know how to handle that situation, what are the tips you can give? At least do this. You're not expert, but at least these are the basic things which you can do to make that person be stable.
Okay, so when I in a situation like this,
Yeah.
always try to have a conversation about things that they are passionate about,
Okay.
and not directly,
Okay.
slowly,
Okay.
and like, okay, first of all, ask them why they are, ask them why you want to do that,
Okay.
and how you're going to do it. Because when you put that in words, the fear starts coming in. I can't do this, I can take a step
Do
like
they
this.
want advice at this point of time, or they
No,
just want
they
to be listened to?
they don't want advice. They just want. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a professional in this.
Yeah,
I don't have a knowledge.
yeah.
I might go wrong, but yeah, if someone is in that situation, always try to listen to them, because बहुत बार होता है कि लोग उनको सुनते नहीं है, इसलिए they want to do that. So listen to them, what they want to speak or what they want to give out, rather than putting कि यार ये तो ऐसे क्यों कर रहा है, वैसे क्यों कर रहा है, right?
Can you tell us about your lowest point? Your lowest point, like failed ki man, I can't take it anymore. Ever happened something like that?
Many times.
Okay.
Many times. I felt that it's easy to die than living, but I feel this phase happens with most of us, and everyone goes through this phase in their life at any point of time, you know. तो ये हर किसी लाइफ में आता है, मेरे लाइफ में भी आया था, but see that these kind of situations make you stronger and you know gives you experience and gives you strength to live another day. Because for this we have to understand what is our purpose in life. So when you find that out, because you have to forget what you are, me, my ego, my self-respect, keep that aside and you know just figure out why you are here in the world. When you find the answer to that, you'll definitely have a reason to live.
Okay. So you're doing this for 2 months. Like when you started it, did you got any kind of judgments from parents, friends? Like how was it when you started? How was your first day out there?
My first day out there, it was very, since I'm a shy kind of guy, you know, I don't really open up, and holding a board out, it was really hard for me because I don't
feel like यार मैं सही तो कर रहा हूँ, like am I doing it right? Like,
you know, I used to think लोग क्या सोचेंगे, अरे लोग क्या सोचेंगे, अरे ये तुम सोचोगे तो लोग क्या सोचेंगे, yeah, so उनको जो सोचना है सोचने दो, तुम कुछ करो ना करो तो सोचेंगे. So when I went out there, I knew what I was doing was right, and I wanted to do it, and it was kind of an experience for me because I did not tell about it to anyone, not my parents, not my friends, no one, only a very close people, you know. I posted on my social media that I'm going to do that tomorrow, so they knew. But when I went out there, I was very scared what kind of reactions I'll get, log aayenge ya nahi. But the first person that I met, she was very sweet, and she was a psychologist student herself. So she understood what I was trying to do, and she was very happy that I'm doing it, and she was very encouraging, and I still remember that first conversation I had.
Of course.
Yeah.
And what about your friends or your parents? Like, you know, this is the common thing we think of, like when we want to start doing something new, we think of our parents or ये सब वो सब. So your parents आपको support किया था? Like did they support you, friends and everything?
So at the start of it, I did not tell anyone, as I said. So my parents, they found out through articles. And directly, you know, I was like, let them, you know, let them have a candid conversation. And honest reaction. So when my mom found out, her first reaction was, काय करता है मुलगा, what is he doing, you know, कि अभी कोरोना चल रहा है and उसकी एग्जाम्स आ सकती है, ऐसा ये things like that, and what is he doing. But when she read what I was doing and why I was doing it, she was very, very proud of me. And since that day, she has been my biggest supporter. And so my parents
from family and friends
because
is important.
Keep my case aside, whatever happens in your life, if your parents, your family is supportive to you, nothing else matters. लोग क्या सोचेंगे बाहर में जाने दो, you know. If your family is supportive कि हाँ अगर मुझे इंजीनियरिंग छोड़नी है आज और मुझे डांस करना है, if your family is supportive, nothing else matters. True.
Because that is what most of the youth they face, because instead of fighting with the world, they have to fight with their emotions and their parents and their family. So that is the challenge. Anything else apart from this, like into this kind of field, like how you are going to plan into? Are you trying to grow into it? Are you planning to expand it, take it into the new level or to the new doing new things into this? Are you trying to grow it up?
So first of all, when I started doing this, many people understood what I'm doing, and they got inspired from it. So they started doing it in their own cities, and it was nice, to be an inspiration to someone. And they sent me their photos, holding the board, and it was very nice. So that got me thinking that we should be doing this in many cities. If there is someone like this in every section, in every society, it will be very helpful, and so I'm trying to do that, gathering people who can do it, training them, not training, I'll just have a conversation, to how to react, how to adjust and things like that. So I'll do it in every area, slowly we'll widespread in all over India.
Okay.
And that's just only if you have time and only if you are willing to do it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want ki if I'm paying someone to do it.
Yeah.
That won't bring out
it
the.
should come from within. It should be voluntary.
It should be pure.
Yeah. It should be pure. Yeah.
So that is the thing. And since I've been only limited to Pune, I wanted to do it for people all over India, all over the world. So I went online. You know, ki Zoom calls pe we can have a one-to-one sessions.
Yeah.
But what happens is I can only give a person. I can only reach very few people in an hour. Like in an hour, I can only reach around 3 people. If you say 20 minutes per person. So I was thinking कि अगर more लोग जुड़ते हैं, अगर online हम और करने लगे, so I can reach out to many people. And apart from this, what I really felt amazing thing to do was starting a support group,
Okay.
because in Western cultures they are very, you know, supportive
Yeah.
to all this. What a
Yeah.
support group basically is that, you know, you sit in a room, confidential room or
Yeah.
safe place
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
where you put out your feelings, your story without
So
you know.
now these kind of support groups are not there in India. Like I don't think it's a.
They are not there for depression or mental health, anxiety and things like that, because अगर होता तो it should be very easily accessible.
Yeah.
Google पे when you search support groups in Pune, it should come. अरे यहाँ पे है, तो नहीं आता है. So
नहीं
for
आता
me also, when I searched support groups in Pune, I found none. And
So you have already started a support group.
so I have started,
Okay.
because if not me then who?
True.
Yeah.
True.
हमेशा ऐसा लगता है यार होना चाहिए, but कोई करता नहीं है.
So people watching this video right now, how can they get connected to this support group?
So at this moment you can reach out to me on my Instagram ID. My name is Raj Dakwar, RHADHEWAR, and it's an Instagram handle saying Raj. Okay, you'll find me easily.
Yeah. So
And
I'll be putting this Instagram link, profile links, everything. So whoever wants to join this support group, or you think that someone needs to join this support group, please reach out to Raj. I'm sure by watching this video till now, he is very much open to
Help you.
grow it up, and anyone who needs help, he's always there. So yes.
So yeah, so I've studied in Pune and Nagpur right now, and yeah, in Pune maybe we have three places where we are going to do it. Pune, Katraj,
Yeah.
and Kharadi and Baudan.
Okay.
Let's see, we'll expand it further,
Okay.
and I want to do it in somewhere in city where it's accessible to everyone. So that is it. That is. So I feel, you know, support group में जब when you speak out, you know, when you open up your feelings, when you put it out there, you will have a safe place where you will, you know, feel अच्छा यार कि कोई तो है सुनने वाला, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not alone. When you listen to other people's story, that gives you strength that you have gone through it, and they have gone through it, and you know how did they cope up with that. You know, those points can also help you cope up with your problems, because many times we have gone through same things, we are all going through same things, we are all in same boat. So helping each other out is really good, you know, and
Yeah.
a place where everyone can come together and help each other out,
Yeah.
that will be really helpful
Yeah.
for them, and that will obviously be helpful for me, because I'm trying to do something for them. So if anyone wants to reach out, I have put my link on,
Yeah.
you know, Instagram, and you can register there and we'll have a talk.
And anyone who is mostly on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like if you're there on FC Road, please, he's there always. You will often see his post on Instagram. He's always there. Go and just visit him sometimes. He's a cool guy to meet. Anything like before we wrap this up, I think we have covered a lot of things, very important things. I think it was very much informative, one of the best interview session that I've had, to be very honest.
Thank you.
So anything that you want to say, like few words before we close this session up?
See, there are many people out there who need your help. So if you know someone who's going through some things, just go talk to them. Have a small conversation. Have a private one-to-one conversation with them. उनके मन की जो भी बात है वो निकालो बाहर, उनसे बात करो, उनको पूछो what you're going through, and try to help them from your side. They don't know anything other than your support. Your just being there for them will make a huge difference in their life. So just be there for your friends, be there for people around you, and spread happiness, spread love.
Amazing, amazing. So yeah, it was Raj with us. Shared a lot of information. So basically, this is the motive that I have, behind this show or this channel. That it's not about like I don't want to invite people who are just famous and who have more views and more subscribers. No, that is not the motive that I have. In fact, it is people like Raj, who are doing something, going out of the way and doing something out of the box, without having any selfishness about it, and doing something extra just to make a place as a better world. Then nothing like it. People like Raj. These are the people I want. Here at the Classic Talk Sessions with Leo. So Raj, thank you so much, brother,
Thank
for
you.
coming here. It was amazing, knowing you. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me. It was very nice to have a conversation with you. We talked about very important topics that I feel it should be out in the world.
Yeah.
And guys, do like, share, subscribe.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also, I'll be putting all the links for Raj profile for Instagram and Facebook to follow him, and share this video as much as possible, because it might help someone, because it is an important and very crucial topic.
And it should reach more people, because the topics that we talked on should be accepted in the society,
Yeah,
and it should reach as many people as it can,
yeah,
because all we need is a ray of hope, and this video can be a ray of hope to someone.
definitely. If that happens, then purpose is served.
Fulfilled.
Yeah, it's fulfilled.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is Leo closing the session now, signing out from Classic Talk Sessions with Leo. Thank you.